So we discovered the RMIT building through a magazine, and the architecture was so striking that we hunted it down.
Nobody had ever shot in there before. We were the first ones to use it.
The design of the building is very contemporary in today's world, but the way that we were able to shoot it and give it sort of a mod 60s space theme, it suited the narrative perfectly.
We added in the flight simulator helmets, we added in some gym equipment, we added in a few little bits and pieces of dressings, but that building gave us so much.
Really stark, minimal, futuristic look, and also that kind of space era futurism of the 60s, or of their perception of what the future is going to be like in a way.
It allowed us to create scope without having to spend a lot of money.
I really loved how they did it on purpose, they incorporated the design of the building into the Space Corp logo. But it just makes it look like we built the Space Corp building, which we didn't.
And action!
We spent a few days in pre-production before we started shooting learning to fight. We learnt all the choreography, learnt how to trick the camera without making contact and without punching. You know, throwing your head back as if you have been hit and had an impact under your chin or on your side, and you know, they hid little pads, and you know, you really go for it. You do actually throw a punch so that it looks real.
The difference between Unmarried Mother and Jane was not only to make Unmarried Mother masculine, but to make Jane more feminine. When we see Jane going into Space Corps, she's actually wearing a completely figure-hugging, slinky, early 60s boucle dress. She's all woman and very sexy and gorgeous as a woman.
We got to wear this amazing blue and white 60s retro fun time outfit, which was so perfectly in tune with 60s futurist ideals.
We wanted to make a futuristic look, but actually futuristic if you had been in the early 60s. So it was a projection from the 50s into the 60s.
Jane, who, because of her intelligence, she gets approached when she's about 17 by a character called Mr. Robertson, played by Noah Taylor, who invites her to join Space Corp.
Which is a centre for training astronauts and young female recruits to be companions to astronauts.
And to be everything that a female companion on Earth as a wife would do, like cook and clean and take care of the household. But for Jane, it's close to a dream come true. She'd love to be an astronaut, but if she can get up to space, then that's good enough for her.
But again, Space Corps has a slightly ulterior motive in recruiting candidates for the Temporal Bureau, who are elite individuals with specific family histories that allow them to be suitable for that line of work.
So Mr. Robertson in Jane's life is, I guess, the closest to a father figure that she's ever had, in the way that it is a paternal presence that she really wants to impress.
He has bigger plans for her, and he has a kind of a knowledge of her future.
And then she gets kicked out of Space Corp. I think the most devastating part about that is not just that her dream has been crushed, but that the one person who took a gamble on her, she's disappointed them.
In a way, he knows that he's going to have to subject her to some pretty radical and painful, life-changing experiences, in his perception, I guess, for the greater good of mankind.